Hello, everyone, and welcome to another segment of the Advisory Health Council's Wellness Spotlight. I'm Dr. Ken Friedman, President of the Advisory Health Council. Today we have a very special guest, Dr. Meena Katdare. Meena, welcome to the Wellness Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Ken, and I really appreciate you having me here.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Meena, we first met back in the middle of September at Middlesex County College when the Middlesex County Health Department had a special Community Health and Cancer Awareness Expo, and you were a presenter there. Meena, after your presentation, which was very impressive, I thought that you'd make an excellent guest. Before we get into the subject matter today, could you please tell everyone a little bit about your background and experience?
Certainly. It's very interesting if you think about it. Even as a child, I always wanted to be in science, in the basic research. And to do something, I guess it was in grade 6th when I decided that I wanted to do something related to human health, but never want to be a medical physician or medical doctor. Having said that, I started observing people, treating, especially since I used to go to my grandparents' place during the summer vacation, and I used to see my grandmother use some herbs and grind them into mortar and pestle, you know, those old-time real ones, and make some paste and give it to us and say it is good for your immune system. In the sense, she would say it will make you strong, it will make your body build stronger, and you will fight the germs. So when she said it will fight germs, and I started asking questions, what do you mean by fight germs? And that's when it started that I have to understand how our body acts, how our body reacts to germs, and what in our body really helps to fight with these germs and not let us fall sick.
And now, a few years later...
So I went to biology. I graduated. I did my Ph.D. in cell and developmental biology.
Cell and developmental biology.
That's
and you're
right.
at Weill Cornell Medical School.
I'm at this Weill Cornell Medical School in New York, Manhattan, New York City. And I'm really happy to be there because it's a great institution to do basic research. We have a group where you have medical physicians, you have basic researchers, and everybody works together integrated manner, and this way we actually find out at a very simple cell level or at a base level what is happening in our body, whereas the medical doctors take it to real patients and help us also understand what different kinds of disease are there and what situations arise within the clinics, and which gives us cues to look into more and more deeper into how we can identify why our health gets, or why we fall ill, or why our health gets bad even though we have a good healthy diet. So these are some of the simple things which we really, my lab is focusing on at this point. At the same time, what we are focusing is also to identify what parts of our nutritional diet boost up the immune system, boost up our overall general body level in order to fight the germs or any bad elements coming to our body.
And this couldn't come at a better time, Meena, because everybody's under stress now. This time of year, the weather's turned colder. We're coming into the holiday season. People are reading the newspapers and watching what's on the news on television, learning about the economy and what's going on with the war in Iraq. And we're constantly being barraged with things that can compromise our immune competence at a time of the year when people are especially susceptible to colds and viruses and the flu. Tell us a little bit about some of the work and research that you've been doing and how people can help their immune system function better to be able to better withstand the effects of the stress that they're under and stay healthier.
It's a very, very, very interesting question you asked, Ken, because when I'm watching the television, I've been watching over a period of time and going through this real crisis in our nation. I really try to relate, and whoever I meet in my profession or a friend and family, I try to explain to them that even though we are in a crisis, there is no point in all the time thinking about it. And so the best thing is to breathe in, breathe out, deep breathe first of all, and also divert your attention from the actual crisis which one is facing. By doing that, what happens is we are changing the thought process within our mind, which releases certain secretions, which are actually, if constantly under stress, the secretions are always of one type, which are bad for your health, and that actually leads to reducing your capability to fight any kind of stress, be it cold related, be it which means weather related, or be it to handle situation on your own.
So if a person's under stress, being under stress causes a different chemistry inside your body that causes your body to lower your resistance to different things in the environment, whether it's bacteria or viruses, things like that, and of course you become more susceptible. Now, you've done some very interesting research. I know that a lot of your research has been done in trying to find out how you can help women who have been affected by breast cancer.
That's right.
And can you tell us some of the things that you've discovered relating to improving the immune systems of people who have been affected by breast cancer, and how your research can help people that may not necessarily be battling disease but want to keep their body functioning at their best so they can be more resistant not only to cancer but just to everyday life?
Okay. First of all, as I've just mentioned, that it's the normal function of the body. If it gets disturbed, maybe due to stress, maybe due to a sudden change in the climate, or maybe due to a sudden shock or trauma, what happens is that if we can as we have just discussed, that the secretion suddenly starts coming of one particular kind, if you can somehow modify them, either via not thinking about that stress-related factor, or change your diet, or go to a movie, or go to a game which just makes you happy, and during that small time period when you're watching a game or a movie over on a television or going out in the field, actually what is happening is suddenly your brain is secreting something totally different, and which is much useful for your system to boost up your immune system.
Any pleasurable activity is an immune system booster.
Activity. It could be gardening during the summer. It could be just knitting for some women, or it could be shopping. And that is what one should really start thinking about, to integrate or to make it as a part of the habit during the time of stress or during the change of weather. For example, now when the holiday season is coming, we are in the present scenario, we are under stress. Do we have enough money to buy all the presents, or do we have to, because it's one time in the lifetime in the year when you really want to share happiness with your family and friends. So you want to buy gifts, you want to have a proper dinner, you want to have everything, you want to go around. At the same time, your budget is tight.
Some people don't even have the money to do that because they've seen what's happened to their money in the stock market.
Exactly.
The economy has been rough.
So the best thing is to think, okay, this time I'm going to just send them some beautiful cards, a different kind of cards, maybe pictures or photographs taken during your holiday, and just paste them and send it with some flowers or fruits. Second thing I would suggest is also we should really increase the activity by maybe talking over the phone, calling some friends, changing the topic, and getting connected, not just via sending friends or gifts or exchanging them, but also talking more often than we do otherwise. Having said that, we also eat a lot during our holiday season. And so there are two things. One is that eating a lot, being stationary, not because of the winter weather, we cannot do too many physical activities. That also compromises on your immune system.
If you eat a lot and you're not active, that can make your immunity go down.
That can also make your immunity go down.
Really?
Yes, because it changes, again, the secretion within your body to be less which really boosts up your immune system.
Now, you have done some very specialized work and research on things that people can supplement in their diet that will help boost immunity. Can you be more specific, Meena, and share some of your groundbreaking research?
Sure. A couple of examples I can take. Broccoli. The specific active agent within the broccoli, which is the main cause of having a benefit or a good effect, we have taken that actually and shown that if you take broccoli, particularly in the breast cancer subjects where the hormonal changes are the main cause for causing breast cancer, if those hormonal changes are modified into a better hormonal changes. In other words, what I'm trying to explain is that hormones are metabolized or broken down within our body into 2 or 3 different categories. One set of categories is a good one. That means if it is in that pathway, nothing bad will happen to your body. But if it is in a wrong way, your body may get under stress, which you won't realize, and may lead to finally, over a period of time, to breast cancer. So we have shown that this agent present in the broccoli, or also in the green tea, it's called EGCG, or also in the soybean or soy extract or soy milk, it's called genistein, and also in one of the Indian spice, which is very commonly used in Indian curry powder called turmeric yellow, and the active component is curcumin. So such specific chemical compounds which are actually active, we have shown in different models of breast within our lab using mouse or human samples, that they modify and they benefit, they change, bring changes within the system to a better one. And if the system is already a cancer or a deranged system, it modifies towards, by improving the immune system, towards the betterment of the health. So this way you not only can have a healthy body, but you can also keep the cells or your system controlled, not to allow a possibility, I'm not saying it will, but a risk of developing any type of cancer.
Now, I think you just made a lot of children very unhappy when you talked about the importance of eating broccoli.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit more about curcumin, because a lot of your research stems around the importance of adding curcumin to the diet to be able to improve immune competence. How does that work?
Okay. Our immune system is of 2-3 different kinds. Particularly 2 kinds, let's roughly say, which means we have always, it's like a sentry that we have type of cells which are circulating in our system, which are taking care of any unwanted material and will catch it and remove it. It's like a police patrolling, and if there is any unwanted activity, that will be taken care of. If we have less number of police, or if we do not have any such police, what happens is it can be that unfortunately you will have a rampant of all types of unwanted activities. Exactly same thing happens in our body. If we are short of those cells which are patrolling within our system to make sure everything is running smooth or is working well, we will not have any major issue. So that is what curcumin is doing. What curcumin is doing is trying to boost up much more type of cells which act like policing.
How can people get curcumin into their diet? Is it just a matter of putting curry on their food, or can they supplement with it? There are some people who love the taste of curry, but there's other people who don't like curry at all. What can they do?
I'm so glad that you asked this question. The reason is there is a little confusion about the curry powder per se. Indian curry powder, which we buy or which we eat outside as a curry, is actually a mixture of various ingredients, which also has red pepper, which also has cumin seed powder, and so many other things. What we are talking about is the yellow color which is given to the curry is by turmeric. And that is what you get off the shelf anywhere, even in Pathmark these days or any grocery shop. And you can take that yellow powder, turmeric, you can add it in a pinch or a quarter or a teaspoon into your soups. You can put it in your pasta. That's what I do at home for tomato soup. And it doesn't taste at all. You don't even realize. And that much quantity, if you take even once a week, is sufficient to keep your immune system in a stronger way.
You're supercharging your diet.
Absolutely.
I see. And is this something that's especially beneficial for a certain age group, or can anybody benefit from this?
Actually, anybody can benefit. And it does. Another good thing about curcumin or turmeric is that it does not harm the healthy cells. It will only make sure that it removes the unwanted, unhealthy cells. It will increase the immune system in such a way that it will take care of your body in a better way. And at the same time, it will heal you. It also has a property to reduce the pain. So if you have had a fall during a sport or any other activity, if you take half a teaspoon or quarter teaspoon of turmeric in warm cup of milk before you go to bed, a real warm cup of milk, you can add it to your coffee if you want to, and drink it and go to bed, you will be amazed to know that you will not have the body ache which you usually get with trauma, especially for children. It's amazing.
What about post-surgical cases? If a person's had surgery recently, will this help in their recovery and healing?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, people who may not like to have a powder because it may require some developing a taste can also take a capsules which is available off the shelf. And 500 milligram capsule per day, once a day should be fine. 500
milligrams once a day. Now, is this something that people need to check with their medical physician before taking, or is this something that is it like vitamin C where you can take as much as you want and your body will spill whatever it doesn't need in the urine or in the stool, or is it something that a person has to be careful about the levels that they ingest?
Absolutely right. It is very similar to that. In fact, FDA has already approved its use as a broad spectrum drug. It doesn't require FDA approval. It doesn't require any other special physician's recommendation. Of course, you can, if you are having any kind of medical history or medical situation, you must discuss with your physician. However, this does not compromise activity or action of any kind of treatment you are undergoing. In fact, in some scenario we have shown in our own lab, it complements it. It adds on for a better way.
And now, where does somebody go to buy this? The turmeric, they could probably get in the supermarket.
Absolutely. Even the capsules are available on the supermarket shelf.
And they look for turmeric capsules, 500 milligrams, and they're taken once, one capsule?
Yeah, you can even take up to 4 capsules a day. Nothing will happen because we have shown, many people have shown in human studies that up to 10 grams of curcumin daily given for almost 3 to 6 months had no side effect, no toxicity, except that your stools may be more yellow.
Okay, because of the coloring.
Because of the color. So your body will not absorb more than wanted by that particular individual.
How effective has this been in helping people who have suffered with cancer? How much has a person's immune competence been boosted as a result of taking this protocol?
Good question. In fact, NIH, which is our main government federal agency, looking at various clinical trials, the National Cancer Institute, NCI, if you check on their website, you have amazing list of clinical trials completed or ongoing using turmeric or curcumin, and up to Alzheimer's, arthritis, lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, and just initiating a breast cancer. The main concern or question or delay for starting breast cancer is basically because its absorption and its capability to reach breast is much less. So everybody wanted to make sure that we have the right dosage calculated before we start the clinical trial. However, for colon cancer, for colitis or ulcers, it's already in the clinics.
Okay, so it's helpful, but you still haven't answered my question, Meena. What I'd like to know is, how helpful is this stuff?
Okay. If you are having chronic disease, and you do not want to be bombarded by too many pills, curcumin boosts up, as I mentioned earlier, your immune system in such a way that your sensitivity, the body becomes more sensitive even to your medical treatment in a better way. It also helps absorb the dosage of different medicines in a better way, because the overall physiology or your system starts to kind of normalize and is less in stress. And if a system is less in stress, the absorption rate also increases.
So if this is such fantastic stuff, why aren't we hearing more about this? Why aren't we hearing reports in the news and you know, in the media? How come we're not? You know, what's going on?
I can answer you in a couple of ways. One is some people feels or are concerned that if they take turmeric or curcumin too much, since it is yellow, they may turn into yellow person.
It's going to call it
yellow skin. And that's what many friends and families have mentioned to me. Oh, don't make me turn yellow now. Second is also that it's a natural herb. It's not a synthetic. That means it is plant derived. It is a very, our body will not treat it as a toxic agent. It is metabolized or excreted out very easily. And thirdly, it has less commercial value, if I can put it that way. So maybe that is one of the reasons. I know I may be hurting some people by saying that, but maybe that could be the reason that it's not that much in the limelight to be used, because it will be much cheaper, and it has a wide spectrum of activity response to various kinds of disease and immune system.
So when it comes to treating disease, the drug companies would prefer people buy drugs that they've manufactured instead of getting something that you don't need a prescription to buy. I
would think so. If I'm in drug industry, I would definitely think so. Yes, it's not favorable for me, so I would try to keep it away. Maybe, yes.
Meena, you know, you've devoted a lot of your life towards research and helping people who have lowered immune systems and being able to help their immune system function better. In addition to the recommendations that you've made about doing things that you like to do, and about adjusting your diet by eating broccoli and supplementing with turmeric and other things that you've suggested, are there any other bits of advice that you could share with our viewers, things that most people don't know about that you as a researcher do know about, that you think would really help people get the best chance they have of keeping their body functioning well and staying strong, especially through these challenging times?
One thing which I can suggest, which is also very close to my heart, is yoga. And besides good diet, besides good habits, besides physical activities, sometimes one faces that still a person comes up with certain disease or certain kinds of ailments. And one starts wondering why. And I have some data coming up from my lab, as well as general background of alternate medicine, that I strongly feel that it is also being under stress. These things, the good nutrition is not absorbed to the level it should. So if we do yoga, which is basically nothing but deep breathing, simple yoga exercise, and releasing your stress by just see, when even our grandmother would say, or family, elderly person in the family will say, count to 10. Don't lose your temper. Count to 10. Calm down. Exactly that is what you should remember. We get stressed out, and inside we keep professional appearance, but inside we are many times under tremendous pressure. If we start breathing in and breathing out, what happens is that we are helping in that respect also a better absorption, better secretion, therefore better absorption, and therefore a better immune system. I would put it this way.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, this is so important because I know there's some new research out that's showing that in 2007, only about 44%, that the flu vaccine now is only 44% effective. Most people think that if they're going and they're getting a flu vaccination, that's going to boost their immune system in being able to combat the flu and other things that they may be exposed to. But now we're learning that it's only 44% effective. That's a huge disparity from what most people expect. So that's why I think that the advice that you're giving is so important, in addition to, I think, having a properly functioning nervous system, because that's what's mediating your digestion and everything that's going on inside your body, and supplementing with the right foods and avoiding things that... What things should people avoid, Meena? You know, right off the top, are there certain things that will definitely compromise your immune system that you should avoid?
I know it's very hard to change your habits, especially if you're used to, but I would really strongly recommend that one should never have the same thing over and over again.
Really?
Yes.
So variety is the spice of life.
Variety is the spice of life, absolutely. Because if you tell somebody don't eat red meat, and a person loves to eat red meat, it's really hard to adjust. So the best is, don't make it a habit of eating red meat morning, afternoon, night, day after day after day. Switch to fish, or switch to just eating some vegetarian once a week, or changing your habit of eating times. Certainly these kind of things help. If you recall, we used to have that, okay, one day a week we will have only this kind of food, and that would help the body system. You change your habits slightly, and don't eat the same thing over and over again. Please keep to the variety.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Meena Katdare from Weill Cornell Medical School, New York City, thank you so much for taking the trip out to East Brunswick, New Jersey to be with us today, to share with us you know, your wisdom and some terrific, important information from your groundbreaking research that you're doing. We really appreciate everything that you're doing with the County Health Department, and especially bringing this great information to light to our viewers.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So on behalf of Dr. Meena Katdare and the entire Advisory Health Council, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us again for another segment of the Wellness Spotlight. And remember, wellness works if you work it.